And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is a recording artist. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Robby Monroe. Welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm doing really good today. It's
Um,
been a real chill day today.
that's great. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. So let's talk about your EP. You got a EP dropping soon. Uh,
Yes.
Today was the first official day you dropped the song out, right?
Yes, this is the first single called Make It Make Sense, Elucidate. So this is more of I'd say, a storyline to the whole project. I haven't revealed what the title of the project is yet, but this song is like a good peek into what everything is going to be about.
Okay, okay. What can we besides that? What other hints can you give us? What can we expect with this new project from you?
Um, well, it's based off the first single. It is very different than the first EP in the sound, in the vocals. Like it's much more stacking going on, and it's much more upbeat than the one previous.
Nice.
So it's very much in your face, I'd say.
Got it, got it. Oh. What how many tracks is in it?
So on the main one is going to be 6 tracks, but there will be a bonus that comes out even later.
Got it. Was it did it take you quite some time to develop this EP?
Um, I would say no. I've been kind of working on the second part for like ever. Like I always knew I was going to have this and the next part of like a series kind of
Mm-hmm.
with my EPs. So I have stuff like stacked up for like years to come. I'm always thinking about music.
Got it, got it. What's the name of this project?
So, okay, so I guess an exclusive. So the name of the project Meeting Monroe.
Meaning Monroe. So in this
Because
EP we get to know a little bit about you.
yes. Well, in the first one, being Robbie, you got to know about just me personally. But
Got it.
this one is more about Monroe, who's the stage character that I have.
The persona, the entertainer, as one would
Mhm.
say, right? Got it.
Yes.
So you write and produce your own music? Do you work with alongside a producer?
Well, I do write everything that I say I wrote, but production, I don't really I play like pieces of a lot of instruments. So I have like a main producer right now. His name is Dub, and
Shout out to
I've
Dub.
worked with yeah. And I've worked with some other producers, Smoke Signals and Noisy Sauce. And even before that, like I was just taking beats like off YouTube.
Got it, got it.
So since I can't make it myself, I can make anything into something that's perfect for me.
Got it, got it. I like that. What inspired you to do music? At what age did you start?
Well, like I want to say so bad, like when I was small, but really, it was like in the middle of high school. Like I've always been interested in like writing. So like my big thing was writing, but then like long form writing kind of became poetry. Then I kind of dipped into remixes, which I did a lot of, then got into original music. So it like was a long transition into it. I've always been just singing. Like I kind of come from the church singing, so I just sang all the time. But I didn't really think like, oh, I'm gonna be a singer until later when I started writing my own story and had something to write, then I wanted to sing it.
Got it, got it. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Did you remember like the first song you were able to compose like from start to finish that you'll say, wow, this is a song?
Like original?
Yeah, like the first one, like recap memory.
Oh, original. Wow. I would have to say it would be my promo single, I say, that I put out last year called A Song Away From Me. It's one of my biggest songs actually. Um, it was such it was a weird time in my life when I was writing it. And I was listening to a lot of one of my inspirations, Mariah Carey, and it's like one of her songs really inspired this song, like not directly like cutting from it, but just the inspiration that she was giving me from the song. I wanted to give that. So like I really just poured my heart into it and just sung it a cappella and worked with one of the producers I named to just craft the music around it. And it was such a different way of making music that I've never made before, really.
Got it. What like if you had to pick a style, what style of music would describe you? Because I've heard I heard a little bit from your website, and it's like very, I don't want to say futuristic, but it's very like you it gets you into the feel, like the vibe, as one would say, which I definitely enjoy that.
Well, like I try not to have a definition. Like I usually do say like I'm
You just go with the flow.
yes, like I try not to have a box. Like I'm very unboxable when it comes to genres. So if you had to like I labeled last project alternative and I might just label this one pop because
Hmm.
those are like the loosest labels that I can think of.
Okay, that's fair enough. What so when you talk to me about like what do you listen to when like that really inspires you? It's like they're saying, this gets me going. I'm feeling something here. Let me get a pen and paper.
Well, I do have I do have what I call a musical table. And it's like these four major artists who like I could listen to all day long and they always spark something in me. And in no particular order, it's Usher, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and Prince. So like anytime
Oh
one of their
wow.
songs is playing, it just gets me going. And I try to take something from all of them to like create, I guess, Monroe and how it is to be him on stage in the studio, just how to perform.
Nice, nice. So you got what is do we can you share the release day of the EP?
We don't have a release date just
Not
yet.
yet. Oh man.
We're
We're
working on the single releases first.
got it, got it. So we're gonna promote one at a time then.
Yeah,
Got it,
it could
got
be
it.
just like three, like so two more singles, and then the project will come.
Got it, got it. Now, are you signed with your own record label, or it's basically really everything is independent?
It's independent. I kind of got my own little management going and different people I work with to do promotion. So it's not a one man show, but I
You
kind of
support
like just
team.
grabbed other people with me. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it, got it. When was the first time that like what was that feeling when the first time you performed? The first time.
First time.
Like do you recall, do you have memories of that?
Like well, I said okay, my first time on stage was a musical that I got a lead in, of course.
Oh, nice.
And it was which one was this? I think it was called Annie Get Your Gun. And
Really?
yes. And I did the actual Annie musical as well, but that was the first one, Annie Get Your Gun. It was some like high school production, but it was like during the summer. And I just did it because my parents wanted me to do something. So I just went there and as soon as I sang for it, they knew they wanted me in something. They didn't know for sure what, but they knew they wanted me for something. And I never was on stage before that, but I just always loved it, studied my table that I was talking about, and just knew, oh, once I get up there, I'm going to kill it. And I always say this show night, I'm behind the curtain, we're all behind the curtain getting together, and I'm sitting there or standing there, and I'm like shaking, like, I can't do this. I need to run off the stage right now. What am I doing here? And as much as like my insides were trying to run, my body stood still. And like the second the curtains cracked open, oh, I was in character. I was singing, I was dancing, I was remembering all my lines. I even had a moment where I did fall, but perfectly fell right behind the curtain. So nobody knew. But I was very much into it, like very into it. As soon as the lights hit me, something just snapped and turned on because I'm usually super shy about everything.
Mhm.
But as soon as those lights come on, it's Monroe. I just become someone else and get very much into it.
Nice. Is from Robby Monroe your real name?
Well, yeah, Monroe is my middle name. It's spelled differently, but Robbie Monroe is it's the it's the character
It's
that
who
I
you
always
are, who you want to live.
yeah. Yes, exactly who I want to be all the time, but can't be all the time.
That's dope. That's dope. What's the difference between like when you first started and now that you've been doing this for quite some time? You know, you've got a flow experience, which is key, right? What would you say will be the difference between back then and now?
Well, back then, I did a lot of remix records. So, and I say record because it's basically mixtapes,
Hmm.
but like I'm singing, so I don't say mixtape because people think I'm rapping on it. But with
Yeah.
doing all that, I think I kind of made myself a, what do they call it? Not a boot camp. Well, yeah, I guess artist development
Hmm.
by just doing that. Like I learned how to write and how I like to write and what's the certain vocal things I always do
Hmm.
and what type of sounds that I keep gravitating toward. I really like learned who I was as an artist and all that.
Hmm.
So now coming into making original professional music, I know I do know, not kinda. I do know exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, what I want it to sound like. Like this time around, I feel like I'm bugging my producer because I keep saying change this, change that, add this, add that every 5 seconds. Because I just know I'm so much more sure than I was before.
Yeah, I know. And the link you sent me, I was hearing a couple of them. You definitely have a different sound, and where like it's I like it because it's not the same shit you hear every day.
Hmm.
You know that you can tell that you know it's you're developing something.
Hmm.
You're at the middle right now. You're at the middle, and where you keep practicing your craft, you know, writing, vocals, things that as an artist always do to prepare, perfect their craft and become that iconic entertainer.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I really heard when I heard your music, and I said, this is different. I like this, which is
Thank
very
you.
important. I'm glad that you're able to, like, even in the bio you have what you mentioned now, like you want to be unboxed.
Hmm.
It's like I don't know if you know who's Ryan Leslie, right?
Yeah.
Producer or whatever. He always says in his songs or the video he does, you can't keep him in the box because you don't want to limit yourself as an artist. You don't want to be known for uh one type of genre, which is like the the people you mentioned. They're like that. They got different. Very versatile, right? In a
Yeah.
sense. What is one of your goals? Once you like, you hit the stage, you actually, I don't want to say make it, but it come to a point where like, now everyone is singing your songs. Everybody's is, detailing. Everybody wants to be in your life.
You're saying what's the goal?
Mhm.
Is it to be on stage?
Like, what is your goal? Like, let's say once you make it, right?
Hmm.
Besides making it, the financial
Yeah.
um purpose, or the gains, right? What is one of your goals that you would like to obtain?
Oh, I always say this because I want it to be true. I want a driver. I do not like driving. I want that
Oh
in my
shit, that's
first
different.
contact, everything. Like I don't like driving at all. So I want a driver. That's a goal. Um,
So
and then
that's definitely something that's noticeable once you realize you made
yes, yes, everybody has a driver. I need a driver too. Um, but outside of that, I definitely I'm back and forth on feeling like it's my mission, but like it's not my responsibility to show that especially a black artist can be everything. Like the genre shouldn't be just one thing, or when you see them, you automatically assume what they sing, how they sing, and everything. That it can be something different. And all the people who like other things, you can like other things. It's okay. You can get into it. And I love, like the artist that I mentioned, how when they try different sounds or different genres, people still at least tried it because they liked them.
it.
And that's what I really want to get into and do different things. So even if they don't fully love it because they like me, they'll at least try to get into it. And then maybe a different artist that they hear the same genre of, they'll give it a chance and be like, oh, well, that was really good. I really like this. And somehow support everyone.
Yeah, I definitely get that. That's definitely a huge stigma within the music industry. I mean, you gotta, and it's not just for you, but like in general, you gotta just like you do music.
Hmm.
Anybody asks, I do music.
Hmm.
Because like you can, a rap song can inspire you, like a rock song would inspire you, like a jazz song. Different genres. Like the source of inspiration, it's endless.
Hmm.
So who's to say that you want to be stuck in you know and rap, right? And it gives you, like I said, it gives you like a limited potential,
Yes.
because
That's
like if you take rap is a young man's game. Like it's not worse looking at a 50 years old trying to be a 15-year-old.
mm,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely.
And then pop, it's also a really young game, right?
Hmm.
And you have to be always promoting a certain image to basically keep up with the times. And you know it's not really, it doesn't become music anymore.
Yeah.
And I think we need a little bit more of that.
Yes. Indefinitely. Like I still like when older artists who have done certain genres still come out and do it, or maybe slide into something else. And it seems like, well, why are they doing that? But it's because they're an artist. And like the ageism of it all is
Hmm.
just that needs to stop because if it's a good song and
It's a good
they're
song.
50 or 70, it doesn't matter. Like just love it as much as you love the new person.
Hmm.
Like it really shouldn't be mattering like that.
Yeah, I also think it's like, because you have major producers and writers that like, it's sometimes what you're saying in your song,
Hmm.
you know what's the message you're sending. And as you go more in the industry, there's some producers that will want this image, and writers to stick this image, and they will stick it to, let's say a Mariah Carey, which she doesn't need it, but using that example, right? And it doesn't fit well with her. This is not her, because music is supposed to be, when you do music, it's supposed to be part of the evolution as you as a person.
Yeah.
Like your first album shouldn't be like your second album,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Usher, like when Usher brought out Confession, that shit just blew, right? Because
Hmm.
in that whole project is him talking about his experience, but his evolution as a person.
Yeah.
Like if you hear Confession versus was it Raymond versus Raymond, it's two
Oh,
different albums, right? Like
yes.
like Raymond versus Raymond, he's getting a divorce,
Hmm.
right? It's like one album was like was that was like Daddy's Home,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then
I-
Raymond versus Raymond's a different album.
Yeah.
Like now he's getting divorced. That shit got real.
Hmm.
So like I like the storytelling and where like it can help you grow as a person and help the audience grow as well.
Yeah, I do love how like real songwriter types, like a I guess for a good example, Adele, that 19 album versus 30 album, that's a
Hmm.
divorce album as well. She wasn't singing about divorce at 19. She was singing
Hmm.
about 19 stuff and then 25 stuff and now 30. And like if your audience can grow up with you, like that's a great thing. If you actually grow up and with
Yeah.
them, they won't leave you. But also if you're already at a certain age, like random mid-20s like I am, then coming in, I guess you gotta really just focus on just general life stuff because you're not like creating songs that are like growing up. You already grown up and have experiences, so you can write songs from like past experience, kind of like
Hmm.
warnings, like these are the red flags. But other than that, you just have to start making stuff that's bigger and better. And sticking to one particular genre, I feel like will stifle that for me at least.
No, it's definitely it definitely affects your what does it say, creativity,
Hmm.
because not everything, it's like you got an album, right? It's 10 songs long. It's like you don't want to hear the same thing. You want to hear something that's going to take you in a, you know, how I like to say, like an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
It makes you feel every, type of emotion from happy, sad, anger, cross, some shit like that, right? To get you going. Um, at least what I heard, the music you have out, that's what I felt. Like
Oh,
I felt the writing. And but I also felt some songs like, okay, I see where he's going. You get that feeling. You want something you're able to vibe out to.
yes, that first EP was very much, I'll say it was a history because like there wasn't really any, I guess, current situations in there except for maybe the bestie song because that's just about my friends. But other than that, there's no real, like I wasn't really writing from a current perspective because it was more of an introductional project. And now as I'm going, now the introductions are about to be over, then we're going to start like I'd like to write about the past because I have a past, so I like to write about it, acknowledge it, grow from it. I went to school for psychology, so I have a
Mm.
degree in counseling, so like I'm heavy into that. Speaking
Cancel
on my
yourself.
past.
Help yourself.
Yes, definitely. So if I can heal myself through the music, then hopefully it heals someone else. But I do like to sometimes talk about future things or current things if something's going on. But generally, I like to chill. Regular Robbie likes to chill. So too much happens. But like sometimes I'll stir up some drama just to have a song or whatever.
That's dope. I mean, there's a you could write about a lot of things. You don't definitely have to write about your experience, right? Like shit, just turn on the TV. People, some fucked up shit is going on in the world.
Hmm.
You just look outside and somebody arguing about some type of relationship. So like, the source of inspiration everywhere is how you tell the story, right?
Yes. Every time I watch because I like Lifetime, the network.
Bro,
So
Lifetime. I'm scared of Lifetime, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you.
every time I watch a movie from there, like I think of a song every single time, like not just like the killer movies, but like some of the loving ones too. I'd be thinking of a song where like if they're in a fight, I'd be thinking of like that situation as a song. So yeah, I do get inspiration just from like anything. One time I wrote a whole song just because I saw this coat that I didn't get, but like I saw this coat and I was like, this is a really fire coat. And I just started writing a whole song just based off of it. And it like sparked other ideas. And it's not just about a coat, but like it sparked other ideas from that.
Yeah.
And it's wild how randomly I can get inspired on something.
Yeah, do you write songs being petty?
I love a petty song. Have I wrote a petty song yet? No, no, I haven't written a penny song yet. But I did try to write. I did write a song and name drop people that I was having like an issue with. I
Mhm.
didn't release it though. But I'd say that was petty because it was descriptive, it was names, it was too much. And I was like, oh, this is a lawsuit. So I just didn't put
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah. So have you ever write something like that sounds petty, but descriptive in a way people your fans or anybody can like gravitate to, and they'll say no names and make it into like a one of those stadium songs. So you can go
Mhm.
on a stadium tour, yo, you'll be a fucking billionaire.
Yes, that's
Right?
what I'm trying. That's a goal right there. That's another goal to make another one like that. I tried to do that with the last EP, the I'm Good Love and Joy song, which is
Mhm.
another popular song, but it's really just throwing shade to like every one of my exes. And I named something specific in each and every line. So like they'll know. It's like very obvious references, but that's as close as I think I get to that right now.
Got it, got it. Have you ever written for anybody else besides yourself? Like, have you branched out in other ways doing music?
I I've written songs for other people, but like they haven't like done them or I haven't fully finished it. Like I'll get the idea and I'll start like drafting it, but then don't finish it. And I want to sometimes, but then like I'm working on my own stuff. So like when I have like I guess more free time to do stuff for other people, then I will. Because I can think of songs all day.
I mean, if definitely if they pay you, I mean that's a big motivation, right?
Yes.
And
I
give
just
you
don't
some type
want
of royalty.
oh yeah. That's something I definitely want to get into songwriting for others. But I just right now focus on myself. And right now, whatever I do create randomly, if it's not for me, then I put it in a category of like, oh, songs I'm going to give to other people. But like none of them are finished. So I don't want to just hand them unfinished stuff right now.
What do you think about the business aspect of music? That's something because I you know, I got I always encounter artists and where everything's a passion, they love the music, and all this, and that's fine, but it comes to a point where like, okay, the business side, that's for some it's easy, for others it's difficult, and for others it's just a learning process.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was so much to where I'd say like my real start to even making the EP was a year prior to even going to the booth because I was looking up the countless things you have to do before you even put out a song. You have to sign up to all the little PR,
Copyrighted, yeah.
the copyright, and there's so many little things that you have to do. And then I was kind of because I'm independent, I was figuring out should I go with DistroKid or Tune, and I decided on TuneCore for like this website situation, but I couldn't really understand it. And then DistroKid seemed a lot more artist friendly, so I just went with them. And like I'm happy there. I'm not like don't come for me, but but like it was a lot to even try to think about which one I should go to and what's the benefits and what's the money going to be like that you got to spend because you got to spend all the time with them and it's just so much to where like I got into it because I'm very studious so like I got into it. Videos left and right I was watching and looking up stuff reading up contracts of everything but then at a certain point when I had a manager they hooked me up with Code 3 Records, who is a money management company, and they pretty much manage all the all the
Finance.
stuff, like submitting it to BMI and SoundScan and trying to get on Billboard and all of that. They do all of that. And so I don't have to worry about that part so much. They send me screenshots and everything, but I don't have to really focus too heavy on that because that is a true job when you really have to break down doing all of it. It's really not for the weak. So
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah, so
lot.
I
It's
really try to
it's
just focus on the music side and have a management that can do all that because it's so much stuff just to put out one song.
yeah, yeah. I'm very because I'm in uh media journalist. That's what I
Mhm,
consider myself and my brand when I'm trying to build. I'm very pro self-education when it comes to that, because we can sit, you know, how do I say this? Because the music industry, videos, clip, content is always artists
mhm,
always feel getting ripped off,
mhm,
especially a lot of artists sign at a very young age and not knowing what they're signing. So I encourage you don't need to know everything,
mhm.
just need to know what is yours. Comes to money, ownership, uh things of that nature, because as time has progressed, we all know now and learn that some a company signing you, it's just giving you a loan, like if
Yeah.
you get a loan to buy a house or a car. So
Mhm.
that's very that's I like to preach that. That's very important, because there are talented artists like yourself, and where their music won't be heard because these miscellaneous things they weren't able to understand or have the right support or team
Mhm.
that can contribute for them succeeding.
Yeah, and I definitely like I don't know everything. Like as much as I did even learn in like that what 6, 7 months of me doing it myself, I'm sure there was a lot more because even when I started with the company, they were telling me things I didn't even see trying to Google. I didn't even kind
Hmm.
of find that.
You didn't even know
But
it existed.
exactly. But like with everything, I say, well, I can read, so I'm gonna read and just see what it is, what's it about, where is it going, have people explain it to me. Like if you explain it to me enough times and you don't switch up too much, then I can believe what it's saying. Because if you keep switching up, then something might be a lie in there. So I gotta read it more detailed.
Hmm.
But I will say I do definitely promote having a separate lawyer if you get into like the higher stakes of the industry. Having your own lawyer who actually knows, like a music lawyer who actually knows every little petty thing they're gonna try to put in there. And I've heard like a lot of the newer artists who come up, they talk about the contracts and how like any little thing you do is a part of the recoup that they're gonna have.
Hmm.
Recoup is just the word for them.
That's just that if they give you a certain amount of money, you got to pay double, depending on the percentage or whatnot.
Exactly. So when you
It's
have
just
like high
yeah.
budget video, like it's great, it's amazing, you look good, but like you got to pay back that $10,000 for
Hmm.
that one music video that you did. And if your music doesn't sell out, then you're stuck actually having to pay that through other means and ways and all of that is just so all of that is really unnecessary. I don't even know why people who don't do music is running the music industry, but that's another
Hmm.
story.
I mean, but
But
it's a business. It's a business to make money. It's
mhm,
one thing I'll say, like, in any type of business you have, and any, it could be, I don't know, printing shirts, doing music, selling cars. The financial aspect of everything, even in a hospital, is the same.
yeah,
Yeah, everything's the same. And you know, I tell you, if you're gonna go independent, open your own LLC, make it a music, do everything through your business, so that one day you have the default, you can't pay back, you file bankruptcy or whatever, the business goes and doesn't
yeah,
affect you, your social, your personal things, and then you can start all over again. That's the beauty of creating businesses. You can start how much you want, you can fail how much you want, you know.
yeah. I love that. I feel like I don't know her whole backstory, but I feel like that's what Tinashe did because she was independent and then got
Hmm.
signed and then went back to independence and is like thriving. but like her business and her money doesn't seem like it wavered, like she had to go bankruptcy or anything. She
Mhm.
had everything set and right, and I would love to be signed
Mhm.
properly. But like if something were to happen like that, oh, I would definitely try to get like all the knowledge and information I can to do something like she did and to try to get and keep those connections. Because like yeah, the label puts you on TV and gets you in certain rooms, but if you make a real connection with a certain producer or someone, they'll still work with you. Just because you're not on label doesn't mean nothing. If you can make the song pop and get them money, then they're definitely going to work with you regardless.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's all
all
about
yeah,
connections.
it's all really simple. It's basically instead of you having somebody doing it for you, the problem is you got to do it for yourself.
Hmm.
So like it's all if they say if you go open your own record label and the bank approves you for 10K, 100K, right? You got to basically manage your money. So instead of the label going and saying go to this studio, we'll pay for it, you'll go to the studio you'll prefer. You know, you negotiate, hey, how much for this session? Do it yourself. You're advertising, you manage, you got to do your numbers. You know, what is the most affordable and more exposure? You know, less is more.
Yeah.
Let you pass for more exposure, you go there, right? You'll set up your 2 or 3 lawyers and where their job is to manage contract, what you own, what keep you updated, uh, and then submit your music to, these streaming platforms,
Hmm.
right? The platform is there. The thing is the problem with these platforms is that it's oversaturated.
Yeah.
So the where the money goes in, which you're gonna take, let's say 40% or maybe more, depending, it's advertising, promoting yourself, for building your fan base. Like
Yeah.
I have a good friend, I consider a friend. His name is John Sylvester III, right? He came out. I speak to him all the time. I'm like, yo, just get a group of 5 people, put money together, right, and go on a tour. Find a tour manager. Instead of you going through a label, do it yourself. Find somebody that's fit for you, works for
Mhm.
you, that you feel comfortable and you can trust, rather than somebody else bring you somebody and you're not connecting. Because in order to be
Yeah.
a good artist, you got to connect with people that it fits your needs.
Hmm.
It's like you want a driver, but you're not gonna want anyone driving you around that you don't feel comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
So, I told him, put your money together, get your tour manager, somebody that will connect the dots and put whatever your genre or type of music you want to do will set you up in these venues, right? And you go on tour, and that's how you get people to know you, and really grow your fan base, because just promoting it on social media and these streaming platforms is not enough.
Mhm.
Everything, when something that they say it's monetized, or when they tell you it's monetized, that means it's already controlled.
Yeah.
That means the only possibility you really have to succeed in this game is you gotta put a hell of money on advertisement, hell of money to promote yourself. And that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Be spending. I always spend so much on promotion alone because I know like it's only ever going to get heard if somebody see it or if
Hmm.
somebody hear a snip
Hmm.
of it
Hmm.
or like you can't get heard doing nothing. Just putting it up on SoundCloud or Spotify or anywhere doesn't immediately mean somebody's going to see it. They could, but that's so whatever in a million chance is better to promote. And I don't know why. Like I used to hear like, oh, only real artists get discovered. Okay. When are you going to promote yourself to get discovered? Like you can't just be sitting there. So that's what I always
See,
try to do that.
that's what I think. What's I don't know the exact A&R. That's what we used to call them. The people who actually went out and find people. See, back
Hmm.
then, before we lived in what we live now, there were people that actually had a like baseball, basketball scouters that would have to actually go out there and you know basically, like in a safari hunt, right? And hunt for
Mhm.
the newest sound, the what talent was, right? And then
Yeah.
find and bring it to the record label. And if they see they were good, they will sign them right there and then. Now it's a lot of people just doing garbage. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say it, you know. And
Yeah.
kudos to them, but you got yourself. You have to have standards for yourself.
Yeah.
You got to set yourself. See, like you, like I like the fact that you're not trying to limit it yourself.
Hmm.
There's people that they'll stay stuck in a certain, he uses example, genre,
Hmm.
and they have talent to do so much more.
Yeah. But they're scared because of their fan bases, and then
Mm.
that's affecting the money, and then that affects them being signed and all this and that. But you never take a chance, then like how are you going to know? Like, for example, Beyonce, if she would have stayed doing the same type of music from the
Hmm.
first album, we would have been tired of her. But she kept doing something different every era. And like people love that. Like a lot of people were kind of back and forth on this new album that she put out, but like
What's it called?
eventually,
What, I forgot the name of it. Yeah,
Renaissance.
Renaissance was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She pushes
Electro.
herself to different things,
Mhm.
and that's what I think what people like, because it's like, what are you gonna do next?
Yes. That's what I want. That's the exact sentence that I want them to say every time I'm even saying, "Oh, I'm coming out with something new." I want people to say, "Well, what is about to do next?"
Hmm. And what's great about that is like you're not giving yourself expectations. You're just going with the flow. But
Mhm.
if you're able to, shut the tune off, shut the radio, and stop listening to anybody, and just go with your flow, you're able to most likely succeed. Than being, being hearing everybody, what's next? Can you do anything next?
Mhm. Yeah, I
So,
definitely even now, even now, I'm in competition with myself. Like I want to have what I do next be better, and then that next thing be better, and like that's all I'm focused on. Like any contemporary, like whether I like it or not, I'm more focused on what I'm doing and how I'm doing, and that's really going to bring, I guess, more people to me because they're like, well, this is totally different. Yeah, because I'm not like focusing on other people. I'm just doing what I want to do, what I like. If you like it too, then come on.
boom, there you go. Have you ever thought about collaborating with anybody?
Yes, actually, on the next single, it will be a collaboration. It's going to be a rap feature.
Nice, nice. Can at least know the name of the person you do it, or you want it to be a surprise?
I want it to be a surprise.
All right. Can we get at least the title of the name?
It's a one-worded single. So it's one worded, the title. There you go. It's I'll say it's more I'll say it's more risque lyrically than I've ever done.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
dope. That's dope. All right. So we yet haven't no date for the EP, but you will be as of today, right? Or releasing episodes. I mean, sorry, songs.
Mhm.
All right. I'm looking forward. Very intriguing. Very mysterious. I like this.
Thank you.
Um, before we go, can you do you have any advice that you can give anybody who's trying to start his themselves doing music, get into music industry?
Advice. Definitely on first musically, because if somebody tells you who you are, then you're gonna be struggling from the gate. Um, read. If you know how to read, then read. Because don't just sign anything just because they're flashing money in your face. Definitely read everything and stay true to you.
Boom. I like that. Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all under Robby Monroe. Well, Instagram's Robby been here forever.
Boom. So there you go, guys. Go follow him. Go support him. Um, go check out his brand new single. And wait for his EP. I'm sure it's gonna be dope. And thank you for joining me. Have a good night, guys. I'm out.